Hey everybody, Chad Ferguson here from catfishedge.com. It is about 10 days into March right now. I believe it's March 10th. And the water here is really, really cold for Texas. Now for a lot of you, it's not going to be cold water. But right now, I'm looking at 48.5 degree water. For 10 days into March, that is really cold in Texas. We've had such a cold winter here that the water got considerably colder than it normally does. And we had some periods where we had water down in 37, 38 degree temperatures, which is not something that we see very often. It's been a number of years since I've seen water temperatures that cold. And it just started warming up here a couple of weeks ago. Actually, last Saturday, I fished in shorts and a t-shirt. It was 81 degrees and came home sunburned. And then the next day, we had a front come through, and that evening the wind chill was 1, which again, not something we see here in Texas. So we've got the water temperature doing this little yo-yo thing right now where it warms up just a little bit and then it cools back off. And then what that means is that the fish are still in a winter pattern because the water is so cold. Now they're starting to transition because they generally start that transition towards the latter part of the winter. Usually about early to mid-February, we'll see the fish start to transition, and I'll start to kind of change my patterns up a little bit. So what I'm going to show you today is one way of catching these blue catfish in the later part of the winter. Now, this is not the only way, and at some point, probably next winter, I'm going to come back and do some more videos and walk through some more of this process and teach some of the other patterns and techniques. But as far as fishing in late fall or late winter and early spring, when you're still got relatively cool water, this is definitely my preferred way to fish and how I will start looking for catfish almost every time I'm out on the water. Now that doesn't mean that I always catch fish that way and don't have to go and divert to something else, but this is how I typically start. Usually, like I said, about a week or so into February on into about mid to late March here in North Texas. Now, the further north you are from me, if you're in northern Oklahoma, up into Missouri, especially with the winters you have had, you may be 2-3 weeks behind what I'm doing here. So if you're just watching this and you're thinking, oh, well, it's, into March or a week into April, don't discount it because it may still be fine in your area of the country. And then also,